Let's go to Amsterdam and speak to Peter Knoope, a distinguished fellow at the International Center for Counter-Terrorism. It's a think tank based in The Hague. Peter, welcome to the program. Is Wagner a terrorist group? Some countries have officially designated it as such.
Well, I think if you look at the actions, the way they behave, the human rights violations, the violence, the torture, and the political aspect of it, there's a political reason why they use violence and torture and indiscriminate violence against the population in several countries in Africa. That is very close to all definitions of terrorism. So the answer would be, I think it is. It should be, yes.
How important is it to Vladimir Putin's foreign policy?
Very important, extremely important. Wagner is present, it's a tool. And it's a tool not just in the frame of security, but also economic and political. They're present in the Middle East, Syria, they're in Libya, they're in Sub-Saharan Africa, they're in Mali, they're in Burkina Faso. They're present in every single country where Russia feels that they have interest. They're a big exporter of diamonds and gold. They exploit mining areas in Africa. They bring in a lot of cash for Putin. So they defend economic, political, and other security interests of Russia. They're very important.
Peter, have you seen those satellite images of that disused military base about 100 kilometers from Minsk? A few weeks ago, it was pretty much empty fields. And it's not possible to tell from the satellite images what's being constructed there, but clearly there is activity. And President Lukashenko said, well, we have tents, we have the accommodation. You, Wagner mercenaries, come. How likely do you think it is that those troops will follow Yevgeny Prigozhin? We'll come on to Prigozhin in a moment, but apparently he's in Belarus. Let's imagine he is.
Yes, I think Prigozhin is a very important figure. These sort of organizations need a figure that is strong, brutal, a leader that people follow. So he's extremely important. And I think people will follow him. Whatever he says will be done. Don't forget, the Wagner Group and its military force is not just in Ukraine. It's not only in Ukraine. They're everywhere. They're in many different places. So some of them may move to Belarus, but many of them will stay in Africa. I'm not sure if you heard that the Malian government today declares that they rather work with Wagner and the Wagner military than with the United Nations. Now, that is an extremely important signal from an African country that chooses Wagner as their partner. They're in many different places. So some of them may go to Belarus, but many of them stay in other places.
Do you think there's anything mysterious about the fact that nobody's actually been able to confirm exactly where Yevgeny Prigozhin is? About half an hour ago, the Americans said, we certainly can't confirm where he is. The plane that apparently flew him to Belarus, it then returned to Russia and stopped in more than one location.
So we don't know where he is. We don't know. In fact, we don't know what has happened since Saturday. There's all sorts of rumors, there's speculations, there's all sorts of theories. We don't know exactly what is happening and what is taking place. His mutiny, some people claim it was staged, it was preconceived, it was all planned. We don't know really the truth. People say all sorts of things, so we don't know what exactly is a lie and what is trying to conceal, who's trying to conceal what. So it's difficult to get to know the truth.
Finally, Peter, what relationship, what might be the implications of the relationship that Alexander Lukashenko has with Vladimir Putin if Vladimir Putin is weakened as the president of Russia? How does that affect Lukashenko's position, if at all?
I think Lukashenko needs to be cautious. He shouldn't overplay his hand. He's trying to make us believe that he was the one, the broker of a deal. He's trying to portray himself as as a peace builder, as a peacemaker. I think he must be a bit humble here. And this is between two men, Putin and Prigozhin. And what exactly happens between these two men is for us to guess. Lukashenko is claiming a position that maybe he doesn't even have.
Peter Knoope, thank you so much indeed, Peter. Really appreciate the analysis.
My pleasure.